Hello everyone. We aim to help everyone understand the severity of cross-site scripting in this video. Most articles introducing cross-site scripting. It's demonstrated by triggering an alert. However, many people still don't understand the significance of being able to trigger an alert in HTML. So they underestimate the severity of cross-site scripting. Today, we will use a tool called Beef to illustrate it for you. Beef stands for the Browser Exploitation Framework. It is a penetration testing tool with various attack capabilities. Since my purpose is to emphasize the seriousness of cross-site scripting and not to introduce this tool in detail, so I won't go through every feature. Today, I will demonstrate some simple functions that can be launched to immediately show its effects. Let's proceed with the demonstration. First, I'll switch to the server where BEF is installed and use the terminal to launch Beef. The console program will open the Beef web platform. After entering your username and password, log into the Beef web platform. Since Beef has just been started, there are currently no online browser connections. I will begin by deleting the connections of the offline browsers. Let's go back to Visual Studio and open the program. That will cause cross-site scripting. This program has a detailed introduction in another video. I will directly execute this program. Let's take a look at the actual method of launching an attack using JavaScript. Rather than just testing for cross-site scripting with an alert, what I've entered into the username field is a request to download hook.js from the Beef platform to the client side for execution. Returning to the Beef platform, we can see that the script executed on the client side has established a connection with the Beef platform. Looking at the Detail tab on the right-hand side, here you can see the detailed information about the client, including browser, hardware, and host information. On the right side of Detail tab are logs, commands and network, etc. The attack functionalities of Beef can be found under the Commands tab. Let's start by looking at the social engineering folder. First, let's test fake notification. This feature has two text boxes for modification. The first one is plugin URL, which can provide a remote file for the user to download when they click the notification. Now, I will only provide our company's website URL. They will be redirected to our company's homepage. When the user clicks on it, the second text box is for the text to be displayed in the notification. I haven't made any changes. I'll just press the execute button. Next, switching to the browser, you can see that the command we just executed has generated a notification in the browser. Now, if we click the notification button, we will be redirected to the URL we entered in Beef earlier. I'll switch back to the Beef platform. Next, let's test the pretty theft command. I won't modify any items in this test. I'll just press the execute button directly. After switching to the browser, we can see a dialog that closely resembles Facebook. If you enter your username and password, and then press login button, at this point, the hacker will have access to your Facebook account. I'll switch back to the Beef platform. Let's check the username and password you just entered. Now you understand why your password was stolen, right? While the dialog may not look very similar, it's not difficult to modify it to look exactly like Facebook. Next, let's see what other dialogues and features this functionality has. Let's take a look at the miscellaneous folder. Here, we have a raw JavaScript command. Clicking on it allows you to input any JavaScript code you want. I only modified the string to be displayed in the alert function. In this testing, after pressing execute, Beef will send the JavaScript code you entered to the front end for execution. After switching to the browser, you can see the alert dialog that we just executed displaying the string we entered. Back to the Beef platform. The next feature we are going to test is Block UI modal dialog. I added a few words to the message and shortened the timeout to avoid a long waiting time. After clicking execute button and back in the browser, we can see that Beef has sent the modal dialog to the front end for execution. Finally, I'm going to perform one more test. Back in the Beef platform, I'll open the browser folder and navigate to the redirect browser item. This item has 4 editable parameters. But the main focus of testing this feature is to change the redirect URL to the destination where we want the user to be redirected. I'll now fill in the redirect URL field with our company's homepage. After filling it in and clicking Execute button directly, the Beef will redirect the front end, which is vulnerable to XSS attacks, to our company's homepage, because we selected an item that uses an iframe. The URL in the address bar has not been changed. You can imagine if a hacker made a redirection in your login program to a web page they created, and this web page looks exactly like your login page, then your username and password would be stolen, right? This video has only introduced some basic functionalities that cross-site scripting can exploit. Cross-site scripting can potentially do more destructive things. It is important to reiterate that this video is meant for educational purposes to highlight the potential harm. Any attack can leave traces in logs. The best approach to handle cross-site scripting is not to rely solely on HTML encoding. It is recommended to address each vulnerability separately with appropriate methods. If you encounter vulnerabilities that you are unsure how to handle, please consult with a professional cybersecurity consultant.